The Miami Heat are going to the NBA Finals. After blowing a 3-0 lead, the Heat came into Boston and played the Celtics off the floor in Game 7 and advanced to their second NBA Finals in the last 4 seasons. This game reminded me a lot of the first 3 games of the series. Boston came out really strong, but then Miami responded with a big run and really controlled the rest of the game from that point on. Boston made a little run in the third quarter to make things interesting, climbing to within 7, but Miami responded and put them away. A lot was made about Butler and Bam's struggles in Game 6, and tonight they were definitely better. Butler in particular had a pretty good game, even though he missed a lot of shots. In my opinion though, the story was Caleb Martin. 26 points, 10 rebounds on 11 of 16 shooting. And if I had to vote for Conference Finals MVP, I would have picked Caleb Martin, because he was consistently the Heat's best player in this series. I do think Jimmy Butler was a deserving winner though. He is the alpha and the culture setter on this team, so he definitely deserved the award. I just would have picked Caleb Martin because Butler really only had 2 or 3 good games. For the Celtics, the Tatum injury was absolutely killer. Rolling your ankle like that on the first play of Game 7 is just terrible luck. It was clearly bothering him through the rest of the game. It affected him on both ends of the floor. But that being said, it's really no excuse for the way the team as a whole played tonight. They basically just went out there and chucked threes and turned the ball over for 48 minutes straight. Their offense was horrendous, as evidenced by the fact that they only scored 84 points in this game. Tatum played as well as he could with the injury. Jaylen Brown was bad in this game. Honestly, pretty much all the Celtics were bad in this game, except for Derek White and Rob Williams. They were the only 2 Celtics that played well. And I don't understand how Jaylen Brown can be this far into his career and still not know how to dribble. I mean, he's a multiple-time All-Star. He was voted 2nd team All-NBA this year. But he can't take more than a couple dribbles before he just loses the ball. And look, I say this from a good place. Jaylen Brown is one of my favorite players in the league. I absolutely love the guy. But he had the same problem in the playoffs last year, and then he came back just as bad, maybe even worse this year. So I think he needs to spend the entire offseason working on his handle, because tonight in particular, it was so bad. He had 8 turnovers, probably at least 5 of them were him just losing the ball when he was trying to dribble. And to be fair, he did have a cut on his hand that he got right before the playoffs that I think probably was affecting him throughout the playoffs, but not really an excuse. Ultimately, I think the result was fair at the end of this series. Miami may not have been the better team talent-wise, but they played better in this series, and I think they're going to give Denver some trouble too. My prediction for the finals is Denver in 6. I don't see anyone beating the Nuggets 4 times with the way Jokic and Murray are playing right now. However, I think it's going to be really competitive. If we've learned anything from the last 3 rounds of Heat basketball, it's that they never give up. I think they like being the underdog, and there's no way they're just going to roll over and get dominated by Denver. I think it's going to be a really competitive series, but Jokic and the Nuggets will come out on top.